everybody, here in the kitchen with me, Noey D Marvelous. It is hotter than shit here in LA. However, I have realized that it's actually hotter in other parts of the country. We have the most moderate weather in the country right now, which is so bizarre to me. Anyway, so what I did was I put together something for all of you to eat that would be substantial and wonderful and great tasting without even turning on a flame. Thank you very much. And something that's served too. So what we're making today is a gazpacho. This is an Andalucian style gazpacho. It's a little bit different in the way that it has, we're using Spanish olive oil. There's a little bit of bread that goes into this recipe. It's different, it's richer, it's very beautiful. So, what we're gonna do is round up our ingredients here. Cucumber is kind of the star of this recipe, which is wonderful because cucumber, as we all know, is so great when it's hot. It takes the swelling out of everything, out of your eyes. It's just a wonderful, wonderful vegetable when it's hot and you're puffing up. So, for about 4 people, I'm using 1 cucumber, and I'm skinning it, but I'm leaving enough skin on it to have a little bit of color. I'm using 1.5 green bell peppers. I happen to love green bell pepper. If you don't love green bell pepper, use a red one or an orange one, whatever you like. Half a Spanish onion, which means half a yellow one. Half a yellow onion, 1 pound of plum and tomatoes. Now, Romas pretty much don't do it for the gazpacho. So, if you want to do heirlooms, that would be amazing. But what I suggest with the Spanish recipe is definitely stick with plum. You're also going to get 1 really nice size soft bread, like European roll. A roll of bread. That's optional. You can leave that out. It is Spanish, but if your dietary concerns don't allow you to have bread, then leave the bread out. And I would suggest, in place of the bread, using a bit of plain yogurt. Okay, so after the bread, we're using a quarter of a cup of Spanish olive oil. Spanish olive oil is different than Italian olive oil. We want this to taste authentic here. So, if you don't have Spanish, use whatever olive oil you have. You're going to use some sea salt, some pepper, 2 cloves of garlic. And I use, which is not traditional at all, just Spanish, I used a quarter of a jalapeno. I just like the bite. It certainly is not traditional, it's not needed, so you can leave that out as well. The salt and the pepper are to taste. Always taste your cooking. So, what we're going to do is I chopped 1/4 of my cucumber, my bell pepper, and my onion to garnish my soup with. All the rest of it, I put it whole in the blender. So I'm blending my onion, my cucumber, my bell, my garlic, my jalapeno, and my bread, and my tomato with the olive oil. And this recipe also calls for a little bit of vinegar, and I replace the vinegar with citrus juice. So I use the juice of 1 lemon and 1 lime. I always try to replace vinegar with citrus, less sugar, and certainly better for your diet. Anyway, so you want to put your liquids and all your veggies in the blender with your bread, your olive oil, and you're going to grind that up until it's a broth. It's a soup. And then what I've done is, here I'll show you all my chopped vegetables here.
think up a nickname for you. Oh, good idea. Well,
all these chopped vegetables, aside from the tomato, I've chosen to put the tomato all in the blender for my broth. If you want to leave tomato in with your garnish, there you go. It's up to you. This is how I do it. And what I've done is I've pre-made some of this. So I've soaked some of my onion, bell pepper, and cucumber in citrus juice and salt and pepper. So it becomes very marinated. It's just absolutely delicious. And then later, when I have my soup, I'm going to use that. So then we're not going to blend this on this video because it will just be really loud and ugly. So what I will do is add my citrus and add my olive oil to the blender. And I also use a 1/4 cup of water. What I marinated my bread in, so I don't forget, was just a little bit of water and some olive oil, just to make it really mushy and get the bread nice and mushy. And then you blend that in with your whole. That's your broth. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. And then this all goes into a bowl with some citrus juice, salt, pepper, and that's your marinade that goes on top of the broth. And your broth will end up looking like this. This is your soup. This is your broth. It's absolutely gorgeous and delicious. And so what you're going to do is take some of these marinated veggies, and a lot. You want to put a lot because you want something to crunch on. Stick it right in the middle. And then I'm choosing, you can use whatever fresh herb you like to garnish your gazpacho. You can use cilantro if you like cilantro. Cilantro is Mexican. So with this recipe, I recommend either basil or thyme. So, and I don't have any fresh thyme, I do, but I love fresh thyme on anything Spanish. So I'm going to use a little bit of dry thyme on the top. And I'm going to serve this chilled, amazing soup just like this to my guests who are so hot and need something amazing and cool to eat. Excuse my homemade video. It is so wonderful and delicious. And who would have thought cold soup? Welcome to my kitchen. We'll see you later.